You guys know me as
SteelWolf.
SteelWolf. Love that shit.
Sorry, should we call you Anna?
No. It's like honestly, people just like know me as Cracky Taylor, and I love Cracky, and I love Cracky Taylor a lot. He's my boy. But
Zero,
dude,
zero chance we're calling you Cracky Taylor.
Cracky, crack.
I love SteelWolf, dude. SteelWolf's my favorite character.
I might have to ask you to, at some point in the episode, give us a little beatbox. We've had a lot of people talk about that in different reviews.
Okay. I haven't beatboxed in a while. I got fucking warehouse lung, man. I'll try not to swear either on the podcast. But
You're
I
fine.
got warehouse lung.
Warehouse lung, dude.
I was working at RC Willie for a second, and it just fell through. And I'm just like, yeah, we're not doing this.
Dude, it just got dark on your screen, Steel.
Yeah, it's probably because this right here.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah. I can open my thing here.
Oh, no, you're fine. I think it's going to be like backlight at that point.
You always got to pop a wheelie flying off the bed, dude.
Oh, no, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, actually pretty good.
Yeah, it actually worked out real good. Okay.
I look better.
Oh, tweeting out. If anybody wants to retweet or
Gotta
do that.
fix the hair so I don't look like
instead of an add-on, I got a yip tip instead this week. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if we're gonna talk about an add-on of the week, ring menu. Get it up there, dude.
Yeah,
I love it.
Talked about it
Have we
before.
done that? Yeah, because
we've done ring menu.
I love ring menu.
God, I love ring menu so much.
When you're juggling 8,000 consumes, like.
Yeah, it's so badass. It's one of my favorite ones.
Well, now I just use it for all my warlock pet summons, all of that crap, like summoning ritual, summoning the cookies, all that shit.
I just use none of the add-ons I ever say. Like, that's the.
Oh yeah, I didn't really
man.
have an add-on of the week, so we might need something.
Think,
We'll just do the yip tip. All right.
Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, I haven't
What am I
showered
forgetting?
for a few days, guys. I'm looking a little stinky.
I showered today, but it might have been a couple days.
Dude,
all right.
When you're playing TBC, you can't be showering.
Well, Mel was out of town, so I was like, no one cares if I smell. All right. All right. This is just for me. Welcome to Warcraft Reloaded, a podcast brought to you by Mash Those Buttons, covering World of Warcraft Classic, TBC Classic, and its community. I am Bobby, also known as Blazin' Bob, and today we're joined by Ryan, aka Cognitive Pit. How you doing?
Doing all right. Last night we had 2 ginormous tornadoes destroy the area that I live in, which was pretty interesting because there's never tornadoes here. But I managed to keep internet and was able to raid, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, it kind of felt bad that I was worried about you not making it to raid instead of worried about all the people in your surrounding area in fear for their lives. And that was something where I just had to look. Yeah, I had to look inward at that, a little bit after I had those thoughts. But I came to the conclusion that I hope everybody was okay.
Well, like a tornado, we've got a special guest on tonight. Oh, wow, segues.
All right. Well, I guess you don't want to talk about tornadoes. My bad. So Mel could not make it this week, and we are going to miss her a lot. But returning to the show after a long hiatus is original founding member of the podcast, Max, a.k.a. SteelWolf. How you doing?
I'm doing super duper awesome. No Diablo 2 druids in my neck of the woods blasting level 30 tornadoes. So we're doing okay. I'm really excited to be here. I think my puppy just laid a little dookie out there. It's a little stanky. And yeah, dude, something doesn't smell very good, man. But it's all good. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me back on the show, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Well, we appreciate you enduring the stink to let the show go on.
Yeah, definitely don't go take care of that. Just do a podcast. podcast.
We're doing a podcast. I was just say, I think someone's handling it out there, dude.
Doing it
It'll be out there
live.
soon. So
Doing it
we're
live.
doing it live Saturday night.
So this episode's gonna be a lot. There's a lot of news. We're gonna first go over what SteelWolf's been doing since we last talked to him. We're gonna go over what we've been doing this week, and then I don't know if Yip has anything about Varkflock and raid progress, but we can hit that too. And then we're gonna hit the news. There's a lot. There's the Holly Longdale interview. There's the new looking for group tool. There's the arena points change. There's all the stuff on the PTR, Serpentshrine Caverns, Druid Swift flight form, engineering goggles, you name it. It's in the news this week. And then at the end, for discussion, we're going to talk about the purge that might be coming to World of Warcraft due to the recent bad behavior that's been brought to light. And so we'll get into that at the very end. But that being said, we didn't have any reviews this week, which is a bummer. But what have you been doing since we last talked to you, SteelWolf? It's been a while.
It's been a super duper long time. Yes, it has. I took a big break from WoW to try to get some things in check. And you know what? I had realized I'm not playing enough WoW, so I came right on back. To play some games. So, a lot of big things happen in my neck of the woods. I have been no-lifing TBC, which I thoroughly encourage everybody to do so. We all need more than one level 70, right?
Definitely.
I kind of went hard. So when the pre-patch dropped, me and some good old friends, me and some good old boys, shout out to Sylv. He was in Barklocking at some point in time. Good man. We were playing Horde, RP, PvP, Grobulus. So had an undead mage named Cracky Taylor, baby. Love him so much. Was playing some Horde. I got 270s on the Horde side. And then I just was like, you know what? I've been having some dreams about my warrior swinging a big crazy mace. So I'm like, I've got to get my blacksmithing up and I got to make that thunder, which today we made it, which is awesome. We made the thunder today. Thanks to my little gnome mage, Anna, baby. Huge shout out to little Anna Williams. She is a little dynamo girl. I've been doing the slave pens runs with her. I can't do like the whole dungeon thing where you blink and you do your slow fall into the perfect place. I can't do that. I just do like the standard pulls, which is cool. And I've been kind of selling some runs. So if you need some runs, baby, add Anna Williams, all one word, just like the Tekken character. I'll get you in slave pens and we'll get you a discount. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. So I've just been funneling gold from her over to my warrior so that I can make that mace. So that's basically what I've been doing, man. I've just been working on that mace. So 367 blacksmithing.
You got a
Nice,
plan to get the
nice.
nethers and get to 375 for Deep Thunder?
Yes, I do have a plan. So I'm in a guild right now. I mean, it's crazy. So some good old friends of mine that went to Brighton High School, they're all a little bit younger than me. I went to Brighton High School here in Salt Lake City, Utah. So yes, a lot of good people, and they were on Whitemane, and they were like, "Yo, what's going on?" I'm like, "I'm on Whitemane too. Like, I have characters on there." So, I ended up reconnecting with them. We've been doing guild runs with them, and they've been reserving the nethers for me. They're really good guys. I've got 2 nethers and I have like 9 primal manas, I think. I think is what you
Nice.
need. You need 10 primal manas, but they're really good dudes. They're all I've done a little bit of Karzan with them. I have yet to do Magtheridon and Gruul's. Is that what it's called? Gruul's Lair?
Yeah, Girl's Lair.
I haven't done those yet. So yeah, I hadn't done Karzan either. When I was a little kid, I hit level 70 when Wrath the Lich King came out because I had to have every single character, every single race level 10. Yeah. No one's getting level 70. So Karzan was a first thing, was a first timer. I was a first timer in Karzan this time around, so which was really cool. But yes, they're great guys. The guild's called Outlandish. If you see them in the world, man,
Weird.
throw a huge shout out to them. They're
I
good
used
guys.
to
So
I used to listen to a podcast way back when I played World of Warcraft the first time, especially around the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King times. It was a podcast called Outlandish. I think it's still around, but I think they do general gaming now or something. But yeah, I used to listen to one. I wonder if the guild name came about because of that in any shape or form.
It might be because the continent is called Outland in the Burning Crusade.
Could be, but this is something that dates back well over 15 years. So I just wondered if they were fans of the pod back in the day also.
I'm not super sure. They're all kind of young dudes. So I'm 27. They're all like 3, sometimes like some of them are 4 years younger than me. They're all really good dudes. I've been having so much fun with them. They're looking to maybe merge with luxury, but I'm not super sure. Like we've kind of talked about that. We've been talking about that. It's so funny. I've been reaching out to Ben, the guild master of luxury. I've been in contact with the guild masters of Costco hot dog. Yeah, there's got to be a guild merger with them. So yeah,
Was-
Costco hot dog.
So
Really excited to merge.
bringing it back to Deep Thunder, like getting the
Sorry.
nethers, like you can get those if you have some good people or you have money to buy them. But the big thing is getting 375 blacksmithing. Like, do you have a plan for that? Because that part was
It's
arduous.
easy. Nope, super
Right.
easy.
It's easy if you
You
have
can
somebody
do
to
it.
loan you money.
You don't
I-
know. You need 1,000 gold. You make some fell steel bars, make some fell steel gloves and fell steel helm.
But you have to
Easy.
go.
I
But
just
you have to go get those patterns though too.
easy.
I've got the rage steel. I've got the rage steel patterns now. I'm in hot juice with that because dang it,
Nice.
man. Because yeah,
Rage Steel gloves is what I actually finished mine with, and I was actually able. I still took a loss, but I was able to sell a few pairs of those gloves for anywhere from 150 to 200 gold, depending on the day. So I was actually able to sell all 5 of those
Make the
back,
gold
which helped. Yeah, it made some of it back. It
Oh.
still was a loss, but it was way better than the adamantite belt that I made up to 370. Like that one sucked.
Gosh, dude. And on Cracky Taylor Undead Mage, I got 375 tailoring. Who, and you know what? No disrespect, man. I was looking at I was leveling up my blacksmithing, and you know what? This is gonna sound terrible, but there was a group of people huffing paint and putting mats up on the auction house. I'm not spending 75 gold for a thick leather. What's going on? I
I
was
know, yeah.
dying of laughter. I was laughing so hard because I'm like, yo, who's passing the glue around and putting these, let's talk jerky prices. Like, what are these prices? So I lucked out though. I waited like 35 minutes and this dude logged in and just made a bunch of posts and I was able to get the thick leather at a great price. But yeah, it was like 195 gold for a stack. I'm like,
Yeah, I made a huge error when I was making my Deep Thunder because I wanted to rush it, so I had to get my blacksmithing up. So I was smelting Eternium into fell steel, and I bought so much Eternium up that someone else was able to just finish out the market and just like quadruple the price, and I still needed like 4 more points, and I was like, no,
oh, I was like,
someone
I
no.
save me. I'm not
know.
paying this much for these items.
Well, Grobulus's prices, they're
man.
not terrible, but like they're definitely they're I would say they're not exceptionally, but they're significantly lower than White Mains. Because I think White Main is just like the White Main is like a Costco on Saturday.
Well, but you have to.
And
You're also the like any. I would assume that any place where you're on a server and you're the controlling, like the majority faction, your prices are going to be better because people are able to farm easier and there's more people farming. So I think that's
true.
why Alliance on White Mane is so high, is because we are the majority faction, have less opportunities to farm and less people farming.
That is true. Grobulus is, I think it's like 45, 55 Horde. Excuse me, no, there's more Alliance than Horde on Grobulus.
Oh, did that swap? Really?
So yeah, and that's because when we were like in the pre-patch when we were making characters, we were looking at servers and I was like, yeah, Grobulus looks good because like I wanted to choose the faction that was the lowest because I love World PvP, I love Burson, so shout out to Zilzag. I love Zilzag. We were always Varson. So he's in Barflocken.
Yeah,
He's
dude,
not
interesting.
anymore.
Yeah.
I hate to break this news to you.
No, he's not in there anymore.
Yeah, he
No.
joined up with Lion's Share. Another great guild though.
Yeah,
We've got a
he
lot of
Shout out
friends
to
over on
Zilzag.
Lion's Share.
he had more
I love
interest in
Zilzag.
PvP, and we weren't doing it enough for him, I guess. It was a bummer.
I don't blame the man. He's a varser. We like the vars. But yes, but yeah, no, I'm glad you guys brought that up. I was gonna ask you because I mean I got a few blacksmithing recipes, but on White Mane, the prices on White Mane are insane. So
It's all about the fell steel gloves and fell steel helm. It's like 80 gold a craft or something like that. If you're not
yeah.
if you're just buying the fell steel straight up, if you're smelting it yourself, it's even cheaper. It's pretty good.
Yeah, see, the
should be
thing with the
good.
Rage Steel is nice because it's just fell iron.
Uh-huh.
but then there's a lot of primals that go into it too. But the the gloves at least do sell because they're pretty good DPS gloves or starter gloves for any plate wearing PvP or stuff like that.
Right. But yes, I'm blessed. I got little Anna Williams, dude. I've been getting those slave pens runs in. Slave pens runs in. I can't even say that. But yes, she's a little gold funneler. She's the reason why it all happened. So big shout out to that little gnome girl with the pink hair and her bird, Michael Infinity.
Awesome.
Can't throw the bird under the bus, baby.
What about you, Yip? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Leveling my druid a little bit. There's a buff right now during the Midsummer Festival. If you spin around at a ribbon, you get 10% more XP from killing mobs. So that's nice. So I've been leveling my druid a little bit. Making some gold. That's been pretty nice. I've got a yip tip later of how I can make some serious gold that I don't think anyone's doing. So stick around, everybody, for that. But other than that, just raiding. We had our raids. Um, Honestly, there's not too much progress. I'll just talk about that part now. I solo tanked Karazhan for the first time. It was actually extraordinarily easy to do. Not hard at all. We also basically one-healed it, but Kim was there doing his Kim Holy Smite DPS spec. So he was able to switch back and forth if we needed the heal. So like for Nightbane, it probably would have been a little intense to only have one healer on. But
Yeah, I was kind of
that was
bummed.
fun.
I was kind of bummed nobody streamed that. Like, I would have liked to watch that. I tried to trade places with Nem to come on it because I was like, I just want to see what this is like. But
No,
he like wouldn't let me.
you got to stay with Mel. That's the thing. Mel could only raid on Thursday. So.
Yeah, but I mean, Harskar knows we prefer to be with each other, but it's not a requirement. It's just we prefer it, but if not.
Yeah, it was good. Kim ended up doing second DPS across trash, not across like bosses or anything, but across trash, second DPS like 2.6 million damage or something. It was pretty nice. It made the run pretty quick. I think it was the fastest run we've done. And then just having extra DPS instead of another tank or an extra healer is actually really nice. Bosses were melting like crazy. Everything was basically a joke for bosses, but trash only having a warrior. Luckily, there weren't a lot of locks. I think if there were a lot of locks, it could have been a problem. But we just had like a Fixline Warlock, right? I think Nem's Affliction, so wasn't a big deal with aggro. I occasionally on my warrior have trouble with AOE aggro. What a shock!
Well, yeah, I mean Nem's seeds are stronger than anybody in the guild though because of Affliction. So
the seed is strong.
Yeah, the seed is strong in Nem.
Nice. Other than that, I was a little worried. I was like, okay, it's my first time solo tanking. Like, let's make sure this goes well. Picked up some strat holy water finally. We've been hearing about it nonstop since Nax. Hey, go get pop your holy waters, and I always laughed at that. But it's now that we're 70, it's really easy to go farm. You can just walk up to the boxes and get a bunch of it. And I was trying to get the little Pied Piper trinket as well too in there, but I was unsuccessful in getting my dancing trinket. But that's okay. I was able to get like 15 strat waters and like 4 resets. And it's really quick and didn't use it too much, but it is pretty nice as a warrior to have. It's just like a extra sapper. So I was a fan.
I got that trinket while boosting small chamois up to 60 during pre-patch.
Yeah.
That was like, I was like, well, I'm reserving one thing, guys. Piccolo's mine. And they were like, okay.
Yeah. No complaints.
Yeah, well, dude, and it really pissed me off though when I got it and found out that it's been nerfed in this. I mean, this was pre-patch, but it's still pretty sure in TBC it still worked. Like I used to be able to go to the auction house and make everybody dance, and they had to move to stop it.
Do that anymore?
No, they have to be in your freaking group. I was so pissed.
No.
Oh.
You might be able to do it in raid, but
that's so bizarre.
It's so because you could make someone dance anywhere, and it would annoy people, and they'd have to move. And I'm sure that's a change they made later.
You could definitely do that. Yeah, I was gonna say they definitely let you do that at some point in TBC at least. I don't even think I knew what the item was in real vanilla.
I had somebody, I was getting an herb, and somebody popped it, and I danced and stopped picking it, and they picked it. It was
incredible.
I was like, I didn't think it was
weird.
an actual thing.
Because I've tried it on other people many times, but was it a opposite faction?
It wasn't. It was a female night elf priest in Eastern Plaguelands, but it was in Classic WoW. I was on Anna Williams running
Maybe it
around
was a
having a good time.
pre-patch change then.
Because they changed a lot of things in the pre-patch, but I just want to say, man, I would put the Ancestors woolies on reserve, baby. Those are my favorite. It dropped off the same, dude. It's like the green booty shorts, man. I love those things. But anyways, on back on subject. But yes, you could. I tried to do it on people, but I would always just get versed if it was horde. But like, yeah, alliance members, I heard they were doing it on people like picking black lotuses, and I had somebody do it to me on a plague bloom, and I was like, no way, that's a real thing. And
Hmm.
it worked because like when you're picking it, if you start dancing, and then all the sides.
Maybe they changed it then. Maybe they changed it. Well, anything else? Yep, you were picking holy water.
No, but I can confirm from Wowhead notes. Well, I guess actually like Thoughtbot notes from back in the day. That in Wrath it was still making other people dance. So this might be a classic only change that
That's
they
That's so
implemented.
silly.
Maybe from what happened to SteelWolf. Maybe that's why.
I'm not even lying. I didn't think it was an actual thing. I can't remember who I was talking to about it, and then it happened to me, and I'm like, I'm not telling anybody about this. This is embarrassing. So here it is. That's the first time I'm bringing it up.
Steel. I don't know if you're looking at chat, but you have a couple people saying hi in chat.
Oh my gosh, I gotta pull it up right now. Where do I find it? It's on
Twitch.tv/mash those
smokes.
buttons.
I've got VHS glitch volume 1 stock footage, Home Depot. We got to get off that. Hold on. Here we go. Twitch.com or no, /TV /
Well,
Warcraft
while he figures
Reloaded.
that out, what
Nope,
have you been up
mash
to,
those
Bob?
buttons. All right, so
Oh, I'm so sorry.
all right, so for me, I've been PvPing a ton, but this week Mel was out of town and I really wanted to try. I didn't think it would happen this week, but I wanted to try to make my Deep Thunder. So I went on that journey. I got Corpse to, give me a pity run through Slave Pens one day, and I got the first Nether, and then I got Kim Jong-un to run me through two different ones, and then I got Bushy Bottoms to run me through 5 other ones. Also, shout outs to Stu for tons of heals. I'm gonna forget people. Shout out to Harry Dodders for doing carry DPS. Shout out to Annoying the Rogue for just coming along and being comic relief. And then shout out to I know I'm missing somebody, dang it. But yeah, they basically carried me through as PvP spec, didn't make me respec, carried me through and got me all 8 nethers. I was able to craft my Deep Thunder. I got Mongoose on it. It is amazing, different compared to Thunder. Like that extra 4-second stun is just out of this world. When the Mongoose pops, it's crazy. And I'm just excited, like gonna have to get on making, that Storm Herald, but the Storm Herald isn't as much of a jump as going from Thunder to Deep Thunder. Getting that 4-second stun is just ginormous, and I'm just having a blast with PvP, man.
It's gonna be a lot harder to make Storm Herald for a non-rating character.
Oh yeah. Well, I figure there will be groups that just allow you to like pay them to carry you through the trash to the first boss, then reset, trash to the first boss,
Yeah,
reset.
farms will probably
So I'll
exist, yeah.
probably end up just basically paying for those 5. And I mean, that's fine. Like I don't have anything else to buy now, so I'm just going to be starting to accumulate money at this point. And if I work up a 3rd character, I won't be putting any money into them, so it'll just be extra generating cash. But besides that, I've just been doing that, and been doing a lot of heroics. I've been doing heroics on Lockdude too, trying to get like a good amount of badges saved up for the possible need for the fire resist gear, and I've just been loving playing, man. I've been having a good time, and that's about it for me.
Oh yeah, I've been having to pug some heroics, trying to get my Ahun neck, the tank one that is insane. That people should go get if you're at least a warrior tank. It's got 19 hit on it and defense, which is incredible. Don't miss pugging heroics. Haven't done that in a little while. Not very fun on the warrior to
Holy shit.
do.
We did
Just ugh.
one night, me and Kim were up super late. Been having some drinks. We had pretty few sheets, and we pugged steam volts on heroic, and that was interesting to say the least. First off, we started off with 3 different people who we lost all 3 before we even got to the first boss. But it was a good thing because the hunter that was in our group was doing less DPS on every fight than I was as a PvP spec arms warrior. And that's a problem right there. And so we were like, this is horrible. But then we got some other people in. They weren't super geared, but they were knowledgeable. We had a hunter that knew how to trap. It was, a very different experience. But yeah, it's definitely weird doing the pugging thing, man. Whew. You should just ask us to come help you. Like, we don't mind.
Yeah, well, you were in Karazhan last night, so that was the
True.
I pugged it after our main raid, and that was just not. No, I don't want it anymore.
I did get the DPS neck off of heroic Ahun, but I did not get me or any of the tanks didn't get that tank neck. So it seems to be elusive at the moment. But Ahun seems to be the same difficulty on regular as opposed to heroic.
It's very easy.
Yeah,
Who's Ahun? Is Ahun the
It's a midsummer
the festival?
yeah, big
Okay.
big ice guy. The
okay.
Lord of Frost.
and you
I
don't
haven't done that yet.
you don't super need a tank for it. I mean,
You do not.
Yeah, you want something beefy, but I mean, you're only really tanking the rock elemental that comes out at the start of each submerge phase. And I mean, somebody in plate could probably do it, or you could probably even kite it. I mean, it's not like, and then the little ads that spawn are actually really easy. Like one whirlwind oftentimes will take all 3 of them out.
Yeah, any amount of geared DPS in your group, they just slice through everything. The problem is just if the group's also doing the rest of slave pens, which is where my problem was. The Hoon part, very, very easy.
Is that where is he in slave pens? Ahun?
Yeah, he's in slave pens.
At the very start, basically.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, I mean, crazy enough, if I can get myself popping off on little Anna, I can solo heroic slave pens and do like a bunch of crazy stuff in there, but I haven't done that yet. I was gonna say Blood Furnace on heroic, guys. Whoa.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
So stupid hard.
Without a mage, it's really hard. With a mage, it actually becomes super
hard.
easy. Mage makes it easy.
The mage makes it so easy. I was with the good old boys, and I was slam dunking it with my rogue, and then we just could not do the Bogstrot Gauntlet. Bogstrot Gauntlet. I had to switch over to my mage because the sheep is just so good. But yeah, I was gonna say we got to do some runs. You guys got to help me get those nethers, because Bob, we gotta be twins, brother. We gotta be deep thundering twins. You know
I mean, we could be triplets.
First of all, I made the first Deep Thunder here.
Oh shoot,
okay,
you have one too, dude. We gotta do it. We gotta do it for the team, dude. We gotta do it for our counties. We gotta have 3. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta do a Warsong Gulch with 3 Deep Thunders. That's the
we control.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And Bob, I gotta say yes. I'm gonna say yes. The Thunder, going from Thunder to Deep Thunder, that 4-second stun. I don't think it shares a diminishing return with the actual mace stun proc. And
I don't know,
too,
but I don't think it does. Sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, you get like a full 7 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've done some arenas and we've legit lost games because of that. Because that just like, I didn't know warriors got kidney shot and cheap shot. And all the shots, like
warriors also can stun with hamstring. You have a 15% chance to stun with that too.
The proc goes
immobilize.
Immobilize. Yeah, sorry. Stop him from moving. Yeah.
But I'm so excited about it. I don't know how much Mongoose is yet. I don't want to shoot down my hopes and dreams just yet.
It's only like 250 or something like right now. It's not too crazy.
Oh
no, just the prismatic shards alone are currently with the 21 gold pop on our server are 210 gold just on them. Then there's 40 arcane dust, 10. It's either 8 or 10 greater nethers, and then 6 void crystals. The sad part is the 6 void crystals are going to be probably your cheapest thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
the
gonna
prismatics were like
say. Yeah.
16 when I did mine a couple weeks ago. I forgot the prismatics are
Okay.
going up.
Yeah, they're going. I think because people are doing less dungeons and working less people up, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Yips tip, man. I need some gold. You know what I'm saying? I got about 14 silver, baby. After I lied, I did some Netherstorm quests. It's crazy how much gold you get
Oh, it's crazy.
being level 70.
And
I
doing
couldn't even
quests.
believe it. I'm seriously, I'm putting gold in my pocket, baby. Whoa, because yes, and little Anna, she hasn't done one quest. I've been literally in slave pens for the last week, kind of goofing off, and she's level 68. No
Oh,
quests.
you're gonna be able to make
So,
so much gold, dude. It's out of this world.
yeah, I haven't done one quest on her, so and she's she's good to go, baby. Love her. Shout out to little Anna for
Nice,
the millionth
nice.
time. There's gonna be a lot of those.
Oh, I guess I did. Oh, I did do the. I did do some of the summer festival. So I found a cool, Wowhead article, and it shows you how to use the add-on TomTom and make macros that just put the waypoints for all the flames across Outland and Azeroth, and it's just printing money. Like Outlands was super easy. It took about 20 minutes to do them all, and about 120 gold for that. But then, like, you could
Okay.
just run all through Azeroth, and I was just in Aldrich Valley queue for like 20 to 30 minutes each time, and I just run over there and I just grab a few while I'm in queue, and I just did almost all of them, and I got that little toy that you can put down the pedestal and the little dancing flame girl dances, like. But
You
I made
make
a
gold
bunch
from
of.
those quests.
Yeah, and they're literally just quests. You go and just right click on something and just
Yeah, you
that's
get the
it.
XP too. So if you're a lowbie trying to level, you get some good XP
I
doing it.
didn't know that, dude. I had no
Yeah.
idea, guys. I need some help, man. I've been under a rock, baby. But I got thunder. That's all that counts. So, but yeah, that is crazy. You just run to the flames. A quick question: how do I get the tabard of the tabard of the blue skies? Is that how you get it? Is just running to those
Wait, there's
blazers or
2
razors?
tabards. There's one tabard you get for just doing a BG and winning. And that's the one that
Okay,
has
okay.
the Olympic stuff on it. Then there's one pet that you get for winning a BG and being the one person. Like if you're in Wars on Ghosts, there's a 1 through 10 roll that happens
Mhm.
internally, and one person that won the BG gets that. And it's one person for every Aldrich Valley, one person. It took me forever to get it,
Okay.
whereas Mel and Bushy Bottoms and Annoying got it like immediately, and it took me dozens of games before I got the pet. And then there's another tab in which you could pick the color, and that's for killing a hoon. So
Okay. So, and the one that you're talking about for BGs, is that the mid is the Festival of Fire? Is that the red one?
no, the red one is one of the ones that you could pick, one of the 2 colors that you could pick for killing a hoon. The other one
Okay,
is the
cool.
one with the Olympic rings in the middle of it.
Okay, I got that one. I got
Yeah.
that one. I'm talking about the Tabard of the Summer Skies. Good gravy. Is that not just bringing the best vibes ever? How do I get it on my chest?
Gotta kill
That's
a
the one I'm
hoon.
looking for. So
A
cool. I
hoon.
haven't done that yet. I'm learning a lot. I love you guys.
Sweet. All right, well, yep. Do you have anything about raid progression? Did you want to do anything? I know you said
No,
there's not much.
other than him killing it, I've been killing it personally. I've been just crushing it in raid. That's all I got to say about that. It's just look at those yip parts. Like I need to talk. I need another person to call me out in a BG on PVE stuff so I can rub it in people's faces, make them look me up. But no, I mean raid's been pretty normal. There's just not that much raid content going on right now still. I'm sure we say that every week, but the 25 man stake 30 minutes, and then that's that. We zerged High King Mulgar again. All the melee didn't die this time, but funny enough, our kill time was almost exactly the same. Funny how that works, but
Shade.
yeah, I mean everything's been pretty simple. We had a rough Magtheridon last night, with about half the raid dead, but still completed it, so it's whatever. It's been pretty easy, pretty simple out there.
Yep, yep. All right, well, let's move into the news. So first off in the news, there were a lot of things talked about in it, but Holly Longdale did a interview with Venruki during the the TBC Arena tournament that we told you guys to watch. So hopefully you watched it and enjoyed it. I enjoyed it tremendously. I watched it all. It was great. But yeah, she talked about changes coming to PvP and to the game soon. So I'll just kind of overview, but there's a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about going in that's in there. But she talked about basically they're going to Serpentshrine Cavern, Tempest Keep are coming out soon. They didn't say when. Guild Banks will be starting testing on the public test realm, so we assume those are soon. Looking for Group Tool will be starting testing on the PTR. Ogre Law and Shatari Skyguard daily quest hubs will start being tested on the PTR. And arena ladders will be viewable in-game, as well as end-of-season cutoffs for various rewards. That'll be tested as well. Other upcoming PvP changes is increased arena point distribution. It's about, from what I saw, it's about 75 more points for 2s, 85 more for 3s, and 100 more for 5s. So it's and that's across the board, from the lowest to the highest. They're going to be reducing costs on Arena Point and Honor Gear prior to the end of Arena Season 1. They didn't give us a time, but they said before it's over. So maybe save up some points instead of spending. But I don't know if you're like me. Once it's in my pocket, I got to spend it. At the end of Season 1, our arena points will be converted into honor points at about 10 honor points per 1 arena point. So that's kind of cool.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, you
was
don't
like our
just
biggest
lose it.
worry is keeping arena points to the next season would just kind of ruin the enjoyment of getting gear because
Yep.
you'll always be
That's
like,
crazy.
I should save for season 2. I should save for season 3.
Yep. So
That's
then
crazy. I did not know that.
Outland faction PvP gear will be coming out earlier. So originally this came out in the Sunwell patch and was a catch-up mechanic, but it was kind of too late. But it's basically, from what I understand, like the same, if not a little bit better than the blue Honor gear, and you're going to be able to get this at places like Honor Hold, Thrallamar, Cenarian Expedition, and you just need Honor to get these. So it'd be a good way with gold to catch up and get into the fight. And then same faction Battleground testing will continue running until the next Tuesday, and so that's why you've still been seeing the same faction Battleground test been going, and the awards on Alliance side still coming. So with that being said, is there anything in here that's not in our later notes that you guys want to hit on?
It's not in our later notes. Hold on, let's cross-reference our... I think we hit on all the major things. The only other thing is the daily quest hubs. Like I mentioned before, it's the beginning of the end with faction imbalance. once you're out trying to get your nether raise, you're gonna be hating your life if you're the smaller faction on that server. It's gonna be very unpleasant.
As someone who did the grind back in the day, that's a long one, dude. The nether raise is nuts, and Ogre Law, I don't remember. It is cool, but like, is Ogre Law worth it?
Right now, if you want someone to mention your mount, Nether Ray has still been, even in retail, one of the most like whispered to me mounts, because I feel like people who started playing after TBC, they never go back and do that grind for some reason for the Nether Rays, and no one knows how to get it. I feel like it's just one of those like, oh, it's a pretty cool mount, and it's sort of like lost in time because no one's going back and getting it. But
interesting.
That could be, that's all anecdotal experience.
Well,
but Nether Ray has been one of my favorites. It's small too. Small is good. I like small mounts.
Speaking of Ogre Law too, I don't know if anybody else has run into this, but if you do all those quests leading up to it, it leads you to a quest to turn in, and there's no dude there to turn it into. So you can do all the quests heading up, and then you go where Questy tells you to go, and you're like, oh, dude's not here. Then you go Google it, like any, good person does, and it's like, oh yeah, it's not coming until later phases. You're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just leave this in my quest log. It was the weirdest thing ever.
But you have it completed. That's insane. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
We forgot to touch on one thing, Blizzard, if you're listening, the Horde, we need bats. We need flying mount bats ASAP. Anyways, we can continue. Sorry.
It
um,
slipped our minds somehow. I don't know how we missed that point.
I guess another thing is that's not in the later stuff is guild banks are coming.
Yeah, so that's really good. It was one of those things that clearly it was just, hey, we technically did not have this finished. From a technical standpoint, I don't mean technically, I mean literally. We don't have a working version of the bank yet. Is all that seemed to be. So that it's really nice. Hopefully that comes out soon, because frankly, I'm gonna need some guild bank funding in order to make my Icebane gear or my Ice Guard gear for SSC. So I'm sure other people are in the same situation. I don't want to spend my own money on that resistance gear for a raid. So guild banks help with that sort of nonsense.
Definitely. Then increased arena point distribution, reduced costs of honor gear. Like, these are all things that are, I think, everyone can see as a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, especially like it just seems like it takes a really long time to get a lot of this stuff. I must just be forgetting what season 1 was like back in the day, because I had remembered having all the gear, but now that I'm getting honor points, I'm like, I'm not even close to getting a full set of gladiator gear. This is nuts.
I had forgotten how long it took too, and like, remember way back when they adjusted the honor after the big whoops. I went back to all my old screenshots and I was like, wow, okay, they are right. It is accurate. That is how low we were getting, and it just baffled me at that point. I was just like, well, I think it just needs to be changed. And so that's where I've been since. But yeah, I'm excited about that. And the Outland faction PvP gear, I think, is really cool coming. Like, there might be some people pissy about it, but it's useless when Sunwell comes out. So having it out now is really cool. I almost wish it would have been out earlier. It would have been a lot less people complaining. They would have had to just concentrate on getting their epic gear from Honor. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have just been in on launch, and I don't think anyone even would have noticed. I don't even know if people realized how late that gear came in. I didn't, because I remember that gear from TBC, but I did not realize it came so late. And it kind of makes sense because I remember not using it ever. So
Yeah,
it adds up.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I didn't even remember that was a thing because I probably never even paid attention to that piece of the patch. That I was like, oh, don't blue. The word blue came in. I was like, pass, But yeah, so, all right, well. Oh, and then the arena ladders will be viewable in game is pretty cool too. Right?
It is. We wanted that. But we had talked before about how it was tied into the armory back in the day, and they're kind of not doing the whole armory thing. So it's good that they'll be doing this. Plus, we've got a couple really good PvPers in our guild, and now we'll all be able to see how good they do.
Well, and I mean, everyone can basically thank you for this yet, because this is the question that you posed to the Blizzard employees that we had on the show a few weeks back.
Yep, this was me. This was entirely me. You're welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Yep.
I think Ironforge.pro or whatever had their own version of it. So at the end of the day, I'm a big supporter of, if a third-party tool is doing it, Blizzard should just do it also anyway, which covers a couple of these things that are changing.
Well, you got anything to say about any of those, SteelWolf?
Did you guys, so with the Blizzard employees, did you guys mention about the barbershop? My undead rogue needs a new clean shave.
No barbershop, unfortunately.
We did not mention that.
Dang it! That's what I'm worried about. We need a barbershop, baby. Just jaking it, not jaking it. That is, I don't know why, but like, I made my undead rogue. He is as bald as a dead Howie Mandel, and he needs some hair. So
it's hilarious that you say that, because when they brought out talking about barbershop in like a new, fresh classic WoW, we made so much fun of it, but now we found somebody who really wants it.
I really want it. I really need it, because my poor undead rogue, he is so neglected because he's so bald, and nothing against bald people. I got some bald folk in my family. I love the bald, but he's just like, the undeads have the smallest, baldest heads. So he needs some hair.
All my characters were made to absolute perfection, so I don't require it, but I understand the need.
All my
Shout out to Great
characters
Clips. I
look
need a clip.
exactly the same except different hair,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's my only thing. But anyways, but yeah, I'm excited. I haven't done Serpentshrine Cavern. My favorite horde villain, Terran Gorfiend, shout out to Warcraft 2, played way too much of that. I'm really excited for that. I haven't done any of the raids or anything. All of it's new content for me. So
Yep, I've actually met the man that character was made after, Taryn Gregory. It's a really nice guy.
really, that is
Yeah,
so
I'm
cool. That's cool.
been praying that nothing bad comes out about him because he's always been a wonderful person at BlizzCon. So I'm crossing my fingers that he stays off that list.
We
But
hope that he's not a real life Terran Gorfiend. Terran Gorfiend.
all right, so next up, the looking for group tool is going to be coming in phase 2. Now, I just want to emphasize this because it's so confusing for a lot of people. This is not looking for group. You do not get warped any place. It's just like basically a upgraded tool to use the looking for group channel, and that's coming in phase 2. I think a lot of people are actually pretty excited about this. I'm really kind of on the fence because the looking for group bulletin board like solved all of my
Well,
problems. So I'm
that was my
yeah.
point earlier about if a third-party tool is already solving the problem, they should just implement it into the game because I think it's kind of I don't think reliance on a third-party tool is good. And the bulletin does a great job, but it's almost like required, at least on the bigger servers. Like on White Mane, it's impossible to find groups for things unless you're actually using that or playing it like off hours or something like that. So I'm happy for it. I think it'll make life a little bit easier to deny people, I hope, as well too. Because when you're posting a lot, they can tell that you're still looking for somebody, and it's embarrassing when you tell the 80th rogue that you're not interested in them joining your heroic group.
Yeah, dude, rogues just don't even say that they're a rogue now. They're like, DPS here. But something
They get it.
something we did
Get him
notice
in,
though.
baby. I'm a rogue at heart. Get them all in there because I feel the pain of the rogue. So
It is
yes, get
painful
them in
for
the
you
group.
guys at the moment. I apologize, but you're awesome at PvP, so
They're the PvP masters. Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
it's
Shadow
a
Step is
pain.
out of control.
Yeah,
So
it's a pain to DPS as a warrior right now too, but we're pretty awesome at PvP too, so I'm not complaining. But what I wanted to point out is that they had talks about it possibly being the new and improved looking for group tool. From the screenshots that I've seen, I haven't had a chance to jump on and look at it yet myself, but from the screenshots I've seen, it appears to be the original TBC looking for group tool, which barely got any use back in the day. Just a heads up on that. I tried to use it, but I'd sit in there forever. It could just be because, I was a PvP spec warlock or something, like, and they just didn't want that. They looked me up on the, the armory, but
there's an
Yeah, I think
add-on.
I think just people adopting it is what matters the most. So if people want to use it, it'll get used. But if people still don't use it, then it's going to be useless. It's going to be super basic functionality, though, from what it does look like. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's an add-on. I have no idea what it's called, but one of my friends showed it to me, and it looked really nifty. It looked really cool because man, on Grobulus, it's not terrible. Like looking for group, but it's still kind of crazy. Like when you have every single person looking for a group, I've had people whisper me muted and or reported and ignored because of spamming, and it's like, brother, I'm just looking for a healer. Like I'm not trying to make your life miserable, but yes, it is crazy trying to find a group. You just gotta like just post a million, like not really a million times, but just like post, wait for some more posts, and then post. But I'm excited to see this tool. I've never heard of it, so I'm like I said, I've been in Bikini Bottom making a maze, baby. Here we are, dude. So that's
well,
where I'm at.
yeah, you're most likely your friend was talking about looking for group bulletin board. All it does is
That's
parse
exactly what
through.
it is.
Yeah, it just
Mhm.
parses through whatever chat you tell it to, mainly looking for group chat, but it'll parse through your guild chat too. And it just looks for the key words or key acronyms, and then you can tell it you only want to see
Yeah.
SS or you only want to see, you know, Hellfire Peninsula dungeons heroic, and then
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
just
okay.
parse through, and you'll just see that little thing, and it makes it nice. It makes it nice and easy.
I was gonna say I would, yeah. I looked at it and my first glance, I was like, okay, it looks a little complicated, but I just once I kind of looked more into it, I was like, okay, this looks useful. So
Yeah,
I think the
it's
whole
definitely useful. It's good for
yeah
trade chat too, if people don't utilize it
trade
for that. If you're looking for people who are like selling cloth or selling ore or something, or you're trying to sell it at bulk or in bulk, it can be really useful for that sort of thing too. If you're just AFKing in town.
yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know about you guys, but trade chat is definitely turned into Barons and Westfall chat past like 7 p.m. Trade chat is insane on Whitemane. People are having some crazy conversations. Nobody's selling anything. It's about
Yeah.
some really crazy stuff that has nothing to do
Yeah,
with trading. So
you don't want to have to read through it all. That's for sure.
exactly.
Yep. I'm good at just not seeing chat, even the chats I want to see. I'm just really good at just missing everything anybody says in chat. Like if you want to, I have a specifically different window for tells. So if you ever want to actually get a hold of me or know I saw it, tell is the only way to go.
I saw that. I didn't know you could do that. It's crazy. I was watching, I think PS Hero stream. He's got all of his in his chat, like everything is separated and it'll flash when someone whispers you. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm way out of the
you
loop.
gotta set
So
up instant messenger version of the whispers. That's the real.
exactly.
Oh,
That's how you
yeah,
can
I should
really.
probably do that.
MSN Messenger, baby.
So
Yeah,
it sends you timestamps of when they
yeah, just
messaged
lets
Oh,
you and
you.
all
right.
that.
I saw that too. My brother Ironbuck had it on there. Like I said slash I love you or whatever, slash love. And it said like the actual time. And yeah, it blew my mind. A lot of crazy stuff I haven't seen yet.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. There's a lot of crazy stuff all of us have never seen, but there's a lot of it out there. But we already talked about the arena point formula adjusted. I don't think we don't really need to hit anything else on that.
It's good.
Yeah.
I think most people think it's good.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk the Serpentshrine Cavern and the Eye raid test. So what do you guys think about this? Are you guys gonna test out any of the raids, or are you gonna leave it? Are you gonna leave it until it's actually live?
I'm not gonna go pug any. If our guild wants to go do it, I might be interested. Apparently, you can just like buy all the gear that you want from
Anything?
vendors,
Oh yeah.
so that's definitely really useful. I mean,
Finally
I'm
get that
mostly I've been looking
DST.
at logs. Yeah, you can get DST. I've been looking at logs and just kind of following how much like resistance people are using for Hydros and stuff like that. But hopping on myself, I don't really know if our guild is gonna do it, but I don't feel any need to like pug it. It's interesting. I don't know if I should be worried or happy that it kind of seems like this might be coming out really really soon. It seems like the arena season would be cut kind of short if season 2 is coming out with this. But maybe this is still like 6 weeks away. Who knows? I guess we don't really know still.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. If the guild wants to do it, I'm down. If like a group of content creators get a hold of us and want us to come, I'm down with that too. But straight up pugs, I don't think I'm gonna be down with on this.
It's gonna be rough, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So
Pugs are tough. Pugs are tough, man. There's a lot of people like me. I have not done the Isle of I've done Isle of Quel'Danis and stuff, but that was way later, baby. Like a lot of pugs are kind of like me. But the thing is, I'm not a terrible player. Once I get the gist of things, I can do it. But yeah, pugs are so hard. There's still so many people that don't have any idea what's going on, and I don't
well,
blame them because I'm with them.
and it's not
So
just that. Like pugs could be good, but since you don't play together a lot, there's a lot of
synergy.
things. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you miss out on, and
Mhm.
they're used to their tanks pulling the stuff back here. The other one's used to their
Exactly.
tanks, just going in, pulling them right here. And like, there's so many different nuance that changes from group to group, and it's just kind of hard. Like, just have to. Yeah, that's the hardest part, I think. So sometimes it's not just the fact that you're getting people that don't know what they're doing. Sometimes you're just getting people that don't synergize with you because they've never played with you. And there's so many different play styles.
Right, exactly. But I'm not throwing anybody under the bus that doesn't know what's going on. Love everybody so much. But yes, I was gonna say I'm one of those guys. I haven't done anything in TBC. This is all brand new content. I'm a Wat Talk Wrath of the Lich King guru. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
we're
this is a
not
big
guru,
cutoff.
but
I think this is a
so
big cutoff for people who even played TBC. I think a lot of people just kind of live their lives in Karazhan and Grohl's Lair and Magtheridon. So even the people who've
yeah.
played TBC, going into SSC in the Eye was always like another big step for a lot of people. So I imagine there's just a large amount of the population who haven't seen any of these bosses, me included. But
I'm excited. I know it's gonna be so big. Lady Vash, baby. She's coming in,
yeah,
dude. She's coming in hot. I'm way excited. I'm huge on the Warcraft lore, so like Lady Vash, like Terran Gorfine, all those names. I love that stuff so much, man. I've been playing Warcraft since 1995, Tides of Darkness, 96. So yes, I'm huge on the lore.
We just have to be. We have to remind everybody that if they haven't started looking into this, there are attunements for both raids, and both of them, I believe, start in Shadow Moon Valley. So if you leveled all the way through dungeons and have yet to do all the quests, you should probably start doing quests in Shadow Moon Valley. There's tons of YouTube vids to show you exactly what you need, or the app Attune, which will help you. But you should get those going because, like, even on Lockdude, I did them all really fast, and then I got on Blazing Bob, and now, since I got on Blazing Bob, Lockdude just needed 2 more heroics and then to kill Magtheridon. Well, it's been weeks now, and I still haven't done those 2 heroics and killed Magtheridon with that. So you want to get on top of that and have your entire guild on top of that.
Is
Yeah.
that for Serpentshrine Cavern?
the Serpentshrine one isn't as bad. I think the
Yeah.
the Eye one requires like a long Shadow Moon Valley chain that if you didn't quest there,
Okay,
you probably have to do like a bunch of quests and
And then a bunch
start
of
doing
heroics.
The heroics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
where
may have
I'm
to-
at. I didn't quest on my warrior at all, and I've got a little bit of catching up to do. So this all worries me slightly because I still don't feel like that.
Yeah,
I may not
Serpentshrine
be in the guild, but
Caverns.
get me in there.
Serpentshrine Caverns is interesting. It's one of the funniest quests I think I've run into yet since starting in Classic, where you actually get killed at one point in the quest chain, and Mel and I were like, "What?" But like we didn't have a release button. We're like, "But we're dead." And then the quest mob reses you, and you're like, "Oh, okay, this was like a little like cutscene thing." But it was just the
Oh.
weirdest thing, like because there was a horde there at the time. We were like, "How did he kill us? What the heck is going on?" Oh man, but yeah. So those quest chains are in. We're not going to walk you through how to do them all. They are long. The Attune add-on, along with checking out those 10-minute YouTube videos, would be a good call for you to get ready for it. But don't be caught as one of those guys or gals that is not attuned, and on top of that, doesn't know what to tell your guild officers you're at. Like, if your guild officer says, "Hey, are you attuned?" and you're like, "Duh, huh?" That's not a good look if you want to be added into the raid. So
Get the Attune add-on, everybody. Get that thing quick. It's actually a great add-on, but it's also kind of jankly. Like I love it and it's great, but it kept saying like you're not attuned to Karazhan, and I just needed to update it. So maybe that's the dealio. You just got to update it. But yeah, Attune. It's actually a pretty decent add-on.
yep, definitely. The creator of the add-on is a listener to the show, so shout out to you and thank you.
And thank you for the add-on. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, so if the arena season ends early, that'll be kind of weird, but at the same time, like I feel like it's gonna be. A lot of people are saying we're like 2 weeks out, and like I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Like,
If that was the case, I think would be very soon. Yeah, I just hope we have some sort of like deadline, the same way we did for like when BWL came out and stuff. They were like, "Hey, we've put in the attunement quest, and this is when BWL is coming out. You have 2 weeks to go do this." I hope it's the same way. Give me like a full 2 weeks notice of this deadline, just in case I keep kind of slacking on these attunement quests. Or the resistance gear mats as well. We kind of need that stuff made so we can get in there quickly and get the bosses down. But I'm gonna push it to the last minute. I just need a little heads up, Blizzard. Thank you.
yep.
Thanks,
Yep,
Blizzard.
same.
We need a heads up now.
All right, well, there'll be more to talk about that, especially if we end up checking it out or
Yep.
we have any friends that check it out, get any information. We'll definitely hit on that, but that's just started testing like a day or two ago, or maybe even just today. So
Yeah, it was hard to find logs of anything but Hydros, so it's we'll see as things unfold and more people clear this.
Yep. So the next thing is something that I think Mel is going to be bummed to not be here to hear about, but Druid Swift Flight Form is coming in Phase 2, which
Yeah,
is that earlier than before?
feels earlier. I,
It
I think
does,
this
right?
is earlier, but most importantly,
The
the
mount.
Reigns of the Raven Lord are
Yep.
coming out. Anzu is one of my
Yeah.
favorite mounts in the entire game. Even including flying mounts. I wish it flew, doesn't, but but
It
it's
just
an
looks like it
impressive one.
should. It's like an ostrich. You're like, oh, you should be able to fly, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it has the wingspan even longer than ostrich. It
Oh
really
yeah.
should fly, to be honest with you. But that's okay. Anzu's a sick looking mount. It's got to be the best ground mount that you can have in the game once it comes out. That's my opinion. But going into a battleground on the Ravenlord mount, I need that in my life. So I'm going to be grinding it. I need to get my druid to 70 so I can trade with other druids, take our mains in.
I would agree with you. It is one of the coolest, but still for me, man, Tony the Tiger will always be the coolest mount in the entirety of World of Warcraft. That orange tiger, they're
Okay,
great.
it's
I
not
do
bad.
like that tiger. The Amani Warbear though, boys. You forgot about the Amani Warbear.
That is one of the cool ones too.
No, get out of here. Bears stink. I'm
I
so bitter.
love that bear, dude. I love
I
it.
have this stupid on retail. I went to like PAX 2011 or something, and they were the WoW TCG had a stand there, and I got a spectral kitten, and I
Oh,
didn't know what it was because it looked like some kind of weird card, and it ended up being the big battle bear mount, and I'm
oh,
just
that's
so
so cool.
bitter. It's just a stupid bear.
I love the bear mount, man, and it's got my
I'm not about it.
favorite. It's got and Zulaman, man. It's got Zul'jin. That's a Warcraft 2 hero or villain. I don't know. You can either. But yes, I was gonna say I love that Amani Warbear. My favorite mount in the game, though, man, I don't know. I would honestly argue I am so upset that I don't have an unarmored Palomino.
Yeah.
I want those unarmored mounts. They should have had that. I'm not sure why they didn't. I was looking mostly forward to that because I played on the private servers and I had a white stallion and it's yeah, that's my favorite. I love
Yeah,
those
they should have
old
had them in
armor
just
unarmored
phase
mounts.
one or something, giving everyone who got on ahead of time a chance to get the unarmored and then
Right.
gotten
Or
rid
the
of yeah.
quest. Because it's funny, like a long time ago, it's my dad bought all of our mounts. Thank you so much, Dad. Shout out to Marinus, Human Paladin, Paranold, PvE. 45 million years ago anyways, but yes, he there was the quests that you could do the quest to get your armored mount. There should be a quest that you could unarmor your mount. So because I would love that Palomino that sits at the stables in Goldshire. That's my favorite mount, one of them at least. So
So you're
anyway,
saying you want horse armor?
no horse armor. I was gonna say I want to go do a quest to remove the horse armor. Expose my horse, please.
The classic
Yes.
horse armor debate. Some say
Yeah.
the beginning of microtransactions.
Exactly.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm excited for that for my druid brethren. I think it's going to be neat for them. It's going to piss me off fighting druids in the open world. But
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be
I'm actually like, I was always a rogue before. So rogues, it's hard for them to catch them druids. But as long as I don't lag as a warrior, like they pop out of their form, I just hamstring them again. Pop out of their form, I hamstring them again. They get a little bit far from me, and I piercing hell. Like they
exactly.
really don't get away from me very good at all, unless they're just really good or I'm lagging. So I'm actually having a good time killing druids at the moment.
Yeah, if they're not kiting you around something, they can't really get away.
Yep.
That's the only difference. If they're just out of reach of your hamstring, that's when the rage starts
Yeah.
coming
One
out.
But
Like, ugh.
what's great though is when they're hugging pillars in our arena, I'm like piercing hell. I'm like, oh,
piercing
That was
hell.
very
gotcha.
strong.
It is super, super strong for that. And so that's something rogues that used to drive me absolutely bonkers, but I'm actually
One
doing okay with the warrior.
one thing that I'm not looking forward to though with the druids, and I might be wrong. I might need to be corrected here, but I'm seeing people they drink the Noggin Fogger elixir that they can't do a slow fall, and the gnomish shrink ray will actually dismount you in air. I don't know if it's a gnomish shrink ray, but there's something that's doing it, because in Wrath of the Lich King, they would do typhoon. They would typhoon you in the middle of the air, and then they would just get back into their flight form. Druids, we're talking here. So I don't know if it's an actual thing. I'm not looking forward to that
Well,
for the flight form thing. So
Noggin Fogger actually, it used to be a 2 minute slow fall. It's now like 10 or 15 seconds.
oh, they nerfed
Yeah,
it.
but something I've
Okay.
also heard about Noggin Fogger, and I don't know if this is true, but I've heard you cannot be sapped while you're a skeleton.
Oh shoot! It's because you've stopped breathing. You can't mount.
Well,
Yeah, I think you're not
yeah,
dead.
you can't mount, but maybe you're no longer considered a humanoid. Someone told me that. I've yet to test it out, and I don't know. That sounds really overpowered too.
That's so
This is
overpowered.
why
And
they
I
can't
mean,
allow anything into arena because all these broken
exactly.
mechanics.
They did allow the engineering belt. I thought that was kind of cool, but it's also
Mm.
kind of bull crap, because I had to drop my engineering for blacksmithing, because as a warrior, you have to get that mace.
I'm
You got to
I'm
get the
NG
mace.
blacksmith on my warrior.
So exactly. I was gonna say, I dropped it. I got to Gnomish, built the trinkets, missed a trinket, dropped it, and then I went 300 again to go Goblin for so that we could do Visitus, and then I quit the game. So,
Mm-mm.
but yes, that breaks my heart, man. I was gonna say I saw that belt being used, but yeah, Bob, I don't know if that's true. I honestly think it is true though, because like it says the actual tooltip itself, when you hover your mouse over it, it says you've stopped breathing, and you can't mount. Like I don't know why, but it might be a thing. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's the trick I used forever to like just do underwater quests, but like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't get sapped, that seems a little OP.
That's out of control.
And if you're
That's
guarding
all the
a
rogues got.
node, like that's like huge. Like you're not gonna be able to be sapped where rogue could like kind of outplay you 1v1 if you're guarding like say an Arathi Basin node.
Exactly. Another thing too is like I know it's crazy, but like even though you're wearing plate in Berserker stance, because that's like your only way out of a sap, right? Is the
Yeah,
Berserker Rage. Rogues still pop off damage, and if they've got improved
I
exposed
know.
armor and they know what they're doing, they're gonna do some serious damage to you. But then again, you just gotta have those macros to switch your defensive stance, put your shield on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now though, I'm never scared of a rogue. Like if a rogue
Yeah.
beats me, that means they are a player of of immense caliber higher than I am. You know what I mean? Or like
yeah,
super geared. But even at this point, like I'm pretty geared as far as PvP goes. Like rogues are like candy to me right now, which is great because I always hated warriors back in the day as the rogue. I'd be like, why could I beat them and bears, man? Ugh,
oh my
just
gosh, the
drove
bear
me
form.
nuts, man.
Druids are crazy, like the bleeds and everything. Like if a druid knows what he's doing, I would honestly argue the druid is K. Like back in the
Druid's
day at
awesome.
at Nessing Mary's in Stranglethorn, me and my brother, we watched these two raid bosses, Night Elf Warrior, Night Elf Druid. They had like 15 or 20 horde trying to kill them. They couldn't kill these guys. They couldn't even touch these guys because they're just two raid bosses. Druids are crazy.
Yep.
So
And I mean, like warriors, like talk to any rogue that's like doing high level PvP at the moment. Warriors with like the full 5 set epic glad gear are out of this world and almost like they just
yes,
call it unfair, like
you
because
can't
they're
do
so
anything.
tough.
You can't do like the crippling poison, like try to re-stealth and everything. Like it just doesn't work. Like it's in the beautiful game of rock paper and scissors, which I lose every time. If you want to beat me in something, play rock paper and scissors with me. Can't even say it. But yes, rogues can't beat warriors in
Well,
TBC.
and
It's crazy.
it's crazy because I'll end up in like a Eye of the Storm. I'll end up being like the third overall alliance healer. And I'm just healing myself when I'm getting critted
Second
and
wind.
stuff. And
Yep.
so like that's what hurts rogues. They're trying to beat me down, but as they get shit off on me or as they stun me, I'm just regaining health and it's
You're
just like
healing.
it kills them, dude.
It's a big issue with like low gear versus having some gear in arena. Occasionally, I would go in with Stu for Kim. They might die right away, and I still just 2v1 because the amount of damage they put out to the healing that I have is just like I'm still really tanky. Like you killed my healer, but I'm still healing every time you crit, and your crits are doing 300 damage to me. Like it's just not enough right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I love it. Second wind is awesome.
But yeah, Druid flight form, pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Shout out to
Druids,
Druids.
Druids get everything.
Yeah. Druid flight form.
Oh man, the Druid
That's awesome.
Crusade.
The Druid
A
Crusade.
Druish princess. All right, so next on the board is the engineering goggles are out.
That's good.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
they're out in the PTR.
yeah, but that's going to be pretty huge. There's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of people crafting their next piece, and then you can wear the weapons with after dropping it, right? You just have to have it to craft it and then bind it to
Nope.
you.
No.
You have to keep blacksmithing? Really?
You have to not only do you have to keep blacksmithing, you have to keep that form of blacksmithing. So in order to wear it, it actually requires like hammersmith in order to wear Deep Thunder.
I did
So
not
you can't even
realize
go
that.
swordsmith. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it says it on the actual item itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a requirement to wield. So
then I wonder at this point if it's going to mean that a lot of people are dropping their gathering profession to grab something.
if you're a warrior with a gathering profession, you've already failed. That's
Well, I've already failed, but I'm making a lot of money, and nobody takes my nodes from me. So
I've got mining, baby. I was gonna say I'm not somebody that's just I don't know, like any time that I've like done like alchemy and like leatherworking or something like that, which I've never done that, but I'm just, making a just kind of like, setting up the glory, but like I never have enough. I don't ever have gold.
yeah,
I don't have enough gold to
that's
support
the
that.
problem. You have to have
it's a big problem.
yeah. If you
You
want
gotta
to
have gold.
if you want to have two really meaningful professions as a PvPer, like you have to have another character to funnel the gold, because I make a silly amount of money every day just in different queues, different everything, traveling someplace, just mining, and without that, I'm losing a lot of gold, and so it's just kind of hard to sustain that without something else funneling gold into you. So
Oh, I agree. That's why I was so
Exactly.
broke for so long.
I
But
bet.
the most important part of this has nothing to do with the stats that these goggles bring. The most important part is the transmog. Is
I was
now
gonna say they look
ideal.
so sick.
They do
I'm
look
so
cool.
excited for Yip to be wearing goggles. Every time I put on the little cloud goggles that we have right now, so I can see all the clouds on the mini map, I wish I could look like that all the time. The goggles are just perfect, especially for someone who, of course, chose the perfect character model right out of the gate with the correct haircut and everything, and I don't need to go see a barber shop. Being able to wear goggles, you get the hair and still have your show helm on, so
And you get
it
that
works out
like
That is true.
perfectly.
That is true.
you get that steampunk vibe to them too.
Oh yeah. Then the next step, I'm never gonna be this rich, but making that epic flying helicopter, that is just that's
I love
ideal.
the copter. People
It's
talk
so
crap
The
about it.
copter's
It's
cool.
so loud. I'm like, dude, you got a flying machine, dude. You're approaching the sound barrier. Like that's some Warcraft 3 stuff, baby. I love that. I
Yeah,
love it
I
so
love
much. I'm
the-
so bummed I'm not engineering anymore. Damn it.
I love the chopper too. The chopper, there's nothing like. Actually, now that I think about it, the
Oh.
chopper might be my favorite BG mount. The chopper, you
The
just
chopper.
roll it up. You got somebody in your sidecar, and you're just like rolling. I mean, it's pretty fun, dude.
Do they do that in TBC? I
Nope,
swear that was
Wrath.
a
No,
Wrath.
it's Wrath.
And
It's-
so
okay, yeah, I was gonna
is
say,
is
okay.
the flying carpet, which I love too. That's
Oh my
about
gosh,
Wrath.
and the Aladdin flying carpet. You know what? Yeah, I'm excited to experience the new stuff, the new old stuff.
Yep, a whole new world. Prince Ali, fabulous he. Alibaba. All right, so
I love that. I love it.
I think that's the only thing new coming with engineering is the goggles, but they are BIS for a lot of different stuff, so that's going to be huge. Oh, yeah, and then the last little bit of stuff we had was the actual patch notes. Now, is there anything in the patch notes that you see we didn't hit on? No, not really. I don't think so.
Nothing that I can see.
Yeah, I think we hit on pretty much everything. We probably could have hit on different
Yeah, I don't
things
see it.
more. Yeah, I think that's it. But
I think we nailed it.
it was quite a
Nailed
bit,
it.
quite a bit. Oh, all right, well, let's move into discussion. So this week in discussion, there's been all the stuff about Blizzard. We talked about it last week. We're not going to get into it again this week, but we are going to get into some of the aftermath. And one of the aftermath things is the purge. So Blizzard has come out and said they're getting rid of a lot of stuff in World of Warcraft. Anything that is offensive. They gave a very small description of it, which has a lot of people, I think, worried. But one of the first things they've done is not in Classic, but in retail, they got rid of I can't even say his name. Afursabi, is that his name?
Yeah, Prasabi.
Who was the guy that gave you uh, the rallying cry of the Dragon Slayer when you turned in Nef's head. They got rid of him, and he has disappeared from the game. He has not disappeared from Classic yet, but there were a bunch of people spitting on him in protest with /spit. Blizzard has removed /spit now if targeting another player. You could do /spit if you're not targeting anybody and you spit on the ground, I guess, but you can no longer /spit on players. And this is the beginning of, I think, a big purge, and wanted to see how you guys thought about this, what you thought.
Well, I think those are separate things. They kind of tied in together a little bit, that people were spitting on the Afursabi NPC, but you can still do that. That's you're still allowed to do that on the PTR. It's just spitting on other players. I know we said we're gonna get into it. I'm just gonna make a quick comment. I think it's a little bit silly that Blizzard had an internal investigation and Afursabi left the company and they didn't remove the NPCs, but now that it's public, they're removing the NPCs. Pretty
Why can't you just rename the NPC?
Just
I
a
was
little
gonna
bit
say,
silly.
I'm a little confused. So is Afursabi, was he some you're probably gonna kill me for this. Was he somebody that was a part of, was he an actual
Yeah.
Blizzard employee?
Yeah, so he's one of the OG employees. I talked about him last week. Listen to one last week, and I talked about how sad it is because he's like one of those. He was the leader of Fires of Heaven, which is a famous EverQuest guild. And he was an early WoW person. He ended up being like the creative director of WoW. Left last year. No one knew why. Blizzard knew why. We didn't. And now it turns out that he's a serial harasser of women.
Okay, that's exactly what it is. Okay,
The
okay.
case. So they're removing him, which is, I think it's fine. It's just when this stuff comes public, that's when they start removing, which is weird. The /spit thing, though, I don't really understand at all. I don't get that in the slightest. I don't
get it either.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. The Wowhead postures that it's because people are /spitting on the reawakened phase hunters, which I do see, and I think is kind of funny. I think that they should simply have a option in the menu, kind of like the sensor, where you can just turn off all emotes. So if you don't want to see people emoting, because there are some toxic emotes that happen. We have people in our guild who have weak auras that will spam emotes when you're PvPing people, so that it'll annoy the heck out of them. I think turning them off as a whole seems fine, but removing this functionality just seemed, I don't even what why? What's the point?
Well,
yeah, I don't know. That's kind of silly.
I never thought about it before, but when I read this, I kind of thought about it, and I thought to myself, /spit is kind of a disgusting emote. Like, to spit on somebody in real life is really one of the most gross, disgusting.
Yeah, they should get rid of /fart also then, because I can brush up
farts
on people.
Are funny. Farts are funny.
Not if you brush up on someone and fart on them. That's
I
not
do
funny.
it to Mel all the time. It cracks me up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know that the team was smaller when this was more rampant, but if Blizzard didn't do anything at the height of the pandemic, they weren't stopping people from /coughing on each other nonstop. I feel like that's way more offensive than /spitting on someone.
I would agree. I would agree. The whole /cough, because people always cough up, and it's just and then I was like, oh, okay, I see why people are doing that. So
yeah. So I don't know. This is just so
the spitting thing, I don't know. It's kind of yeah. It's I don't really care about emotes. I'm always emoting and having a good time. My favorite emote is probably Nod/Nod. The male humans have the funniest animations. Love that /Nod and /Grats. I just and open fire /open fire. Those are great emotes. But
What about the train? Do you like the
Chugga
you
chugga
know
chugga
what?
chugga chugga. Woo
Holy
woo.
smokes! I
Chugga
raided
chugga
with a
chugga
good
chugga
old
chugga chugga
my good
chugga.
friend. His name's Crunchy Napkin. I love you so much, Crunchy Napkin. He ruined the /train for me because he did not ever stop doing it. So I'm like, buddy, knock off the train. Just kidding. I love the train, but he kind of the gnome train. I love the male gnome /train. That one is one of my favorites. So
I mean,
I don't know.
the one that like I don't use the slash spit emote. Like what I use in place of that is slash pity. Look down upon them with pity.
mhm,
I do
mhm.
that to anybody that's like a level 70 beating up on my level 61. I'm just like, I just pity you, dude. You just
I'll be honest. I am a toxic user of slash spit. For instance, if I avenge a fellow alliance, this happened just yesterday. I guess I'm out in the Grand. I'm sucking up some clouds, and I see a mage on the ground with a rogue standing over him, and I'm like, well, hey, I'm a PvP spec warrior. It must have been a few days ago then, because I wasn't PvP spec yesterday. And I go down and I destroy this rogue, and I give him a slash spit. I spit on his corpse after I kill him because that's I don't know what else would I do. I want to desecrate him after he killed my fellow alliance, and then we're chatting. You know, they say thanks, dude. You know, you rule, and I slash spit on this guy, and it's just right to remove that ability from me doesn't feel right. Now, if that guy wants to turn off emotes so he doesn't get tilted, fine. If that's what they want to do.
you
But
could
for me to not be allowed to spit on the body of a rogue, of a horde rogue that tries to kill me or kills one of my comrades, no.
you could just do what good old Buttercakes does to me every time I die in raid, and he just slash sits on me over and over again,
Oh
doing the
yeah.
classic tactical crouch on me. Just
Yeah, I've
dropping it down.
unbound my sit button, so it's way easier when you actually have a bound sit key to just to do it. I don't want to slash sit all over and over, but yeah, I mean,
/type
teabagging
it.
is one thing. I like spit. There's just something about it that it just feels right. You know, you've killed them, you've humiliated them, and then you're spitting on them. And even when they get back to their body, they'll know. They'll know what I've done to them.
They'll
Have
know.
Have you ever spit on anybody or been spit on in real life though? It's a really jarring thing.
I have for sure. You know what? I had a girl that really liked me in elementary school, and she actually gave me like a recess, and it was hot outside, and I got it all over my face, and she like went for a kiss and like licked it off my face, and she spit on me. It was pretty gross. But anyways,
I had a similar
not sure where
thing
that came
happen.
from. Sorry about
I had a
that.
similar thing happen to me in elementary school. I don't think I should tell this on the. Well, forget it. I'll do it. I had a similar thing happen to me. I had a girl that really liked me, and she had hit her growth spurt a lot faster than lots of the boys had, and she really liked me. And I just told her, I was like, "Hey, I don't like you like that. I like your friend so and so." And she beat me up at the skating rink like she was hitting me. They had to pull her off of me. I was like, oh my gosh, fatal attraction. That was the first time I realized you just don't tell them. You just don't tell them.
You just don't tell them. You just don't tell them. I know. I
Oh,
opened up
man.
that can of worms. I have no idea where that came out of. But anyways, love that story, Bob.
Yeah, and if you
For the
and
same
if,
reason that you're against the spitting, that's why I'm for it. So I'm, I don't think, if anything, they should get rid of spitting on the same faction and exclusively only allow you to spit on Horde. In fact, yeah,
I
Horde
could
shouldn't even
spit
be allowed to
on.
spit on Alliance. Just a one-way spit factory.
I
I
mean,
can agree with
but
that. I can
to be
agree with that for
fair,
sure.
we can emote anything we want just with a /E, and then it says Blaze Bob does this. I used to
Only on your own
always.
faction, though.
Oh, okay. I used to always /E. Blazing Bob sets his beer on Zilzag's head. Like it was like something I did like almost every raid.
Wow, you should be playing on a role-playing server, Bob.
They're so much fun. I recommend it. Grobulus RP PvP Horde, baby. Come on over.
Yip stands up.
Great
She
server.
pulls the hunger and cold that she received from Kel'Thuzad's dead body
But
himself and wields the sword.
what I
It's
wanted to
crazy.
what I wanted to get to with this is the more important thing is what else are they going to take out of the game? Because I was looking at, for instance, the toy that I got from the Midsummer Fire Festival, and that has it appears to be a female fire something nymph or something like that,
I think a
and
Draenei, isn't it?
I don't know what it is, and it's got a
I think it's a
tail,
model of a Draenei, but it's
but
like it looks a
it's
little weirder.
dancing real sexual. Is that the type of thing they're going to take out of the game too? Like, like how far does this go? And are they going to tell us, or are things just going to start disappearing? Like, are we going to change the male dance because he does pelvic, pushes? Like,
What's it called?
what's gonna happen? Oh,
What's it called? What's the actual thing? I'm gonna look it up. I've never seen it before. Oh, I
uh,
have, but it's been a while.
here, I'll look it up while Yip talks.
Well, I feel like that's jumping. I don't know. The slash spit thing is weird, but I do feel like we're kind of jumping the shark of all the stuff they might end up taking away. It could be very little that they end up taking away. I doubt they'll take away things like that. As long as things like succubi exist in the game. When we go into Black Temple, there's like a whole area of of succubi and things like that I doubt they're going to be removing from the game. It seems more like things that have to do with harassment and bullying, so things that players can do to each other. So the slash spit makes sense in that regard, but again, I think that's a little bit silly. Maybe just like having being able to turn your sensor on and off, turning off emotes, I think is probably fine. It's a solution where you're welcome to protect yourself, the same way that if someone's being annoying to you, you're welcome to ignore them and put them on ignore. I think it'd be weird for everyone to start on ignore and then you have to accept them to be able to talk. That's kind of how I feel about the spit thing. If you don't like being spit on, allow you to turn off emotes. But hopefully they don't take out too much more. I think that it's a little bit silly, especially on the classic side of things. If they're getting rid of stuff in retail, I've got really no opinions on that if that's how they want their game to work. But when it comes to the classic stuff, I obviously prefer them to just leave things the way they
Yeah,
are for
leave
the
it the
most
way it
part.
is. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Taking away an emote, that's insane. But then
Yeah,
again, I think it's incredibly silly with the whole spit thing because it's like you were saying. Yep, I honestly think they should just should just like, go into your chat, right click general, and then you can just toggle on and off for the emotes.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, I do understand getting upset at these things. Like, something I would love to hate more in Overwatch, they stopped allowing people to teabag really quickly. So you used to be able to spam the teabag button or the crouch button, like insanely quick. So it was like unbelievable how quick you could teabag somebody.
Hmm.
And
That's
then they
a
also got
tactical
rid of
crouch. Jake
yeah,
told us
sorry.
it's a tactical
They
crouch.
they also got rid of the ability to say GGEZ to people, and it would change your
It was
text to like
hilarious.
yeah, so it would change your text to like, oh, I have like mommy issues or something. Like it'd be like,
Dude, it
oh,
was
thank good game. It was
hilarious.
really yeah. So they would just change that around. And as much as I would love to be like, oh, people are so sensitive these days. You can just put people on ignore. Like, why are you upset about these things? I was so upset by those things when you had a close game and the other team GGEZ'd you. I was so furious. So I can understand not wanting to see these things in your game. I just think that limit to the person who doesn't want to see it. Don't ruin everyone else's fun. That's sort of where I'm at.
All right,
Hashtag no changes, but please get the barber shop in.
Steel.
Just kidding.
Do you see? I posted the item there.
Yes, I see it, and now it's bringing back some memories. It's the female Draenei. That's the female Draenei dance.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So
right.
that's what that is. Yeah,
Yep.
So
I'm pretty sure.
do they start changing stuff like that? Do they start?
I think that it's all based on harassment to other
Right,
players.
right,
I
right.
don't think that they'll change anything like that
Well,
personally. I
because
think that'd be
well, because World of Warcraft, and I'm not sure with Shadowlands, and I'm pretty sure, of course, it's the same as TBC when it comes to rating. It's rated teen, right? Is it? I can't remember what it's
Yeah, I
actually
think so.
rated. But anyways, like it's not,
ESRB.
you know,
Yeah, that's a good
exactly.
point.
MSR, exactly, MSRP. But that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know, for them to get rid of that, they would have to get rid of a lot of things. Like, so like if you play like a female human model, and you take off all the clothes, shout out to Nelly, it's getting hot in here. Um but like what do they do for that? You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. And like the Draenays, the female Draenei, they have really good posture, and things like that. So I don't know. It would be really tough if we remove something like that. But I am all for I'm against the whole, harassment stuff. Like I'm for the
Yeah.
ladies. Shout out to the Blizzard ladies, I think that's awful. When I heard about all this stuff, I was really, I was kind of upset. I was like, what on earth? This is
It's
this is
bad.
awful. We need to
Yeah.
empower our women.
Yeah,
We need
I've
to
been
empower
more
our
than
WoW women.
kind of
So
upset. I've been struggling with it, just trying not to think about it. But
exactly.
to
Yeah.
bring it
No,
to
I
a
feel that.
funnier note, if they did get rid of the dances, what happens to Goldshire?
Why is so hard? Why do you think the dances are going away?
I don't know, dude. Just
I don't know
because.
where this is coming from.
Just because they said they're going to get rid of anything offensive, and that might be offensive to some people. I don't know.
And what about Goldshire? Is there like some dance competitions that I haven't made it to in Goldshire?
Ooh, do you
Oh
want to
yeah,
take this
you're
ship?
on RP PvP, but you're on Horde. So
Dude.
Goldshire is where the ERP comes into play. Are you familiar with ERP?
Be
I'm
erotic
not
role
familiar.
playing.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Is that oh that
yeah,
that so that okay. Okay.
yep.
Because I'm not gonna lie, Grog with this RP PvP, holy smokes! Like if you go to I can't remember what the tavern's called in Brill, but there is always people sitting
Oh,
they're
that's
sitting in there, they're going hard in the paint. The trolls talk like trolls. They say a lot of troll stuff. They like it's crazy, and like people are talking
that
about when they
sounds
were
like the
alive.
Goldshire. Sounds like the Goldshire of the Horde side. I
I
wouldn't
didn't
know
even
because
know
I've
that. I
never
didn't even know
played
that.
Horde. So
Yeah, we
Horde's
found out.
awesome though. We love Horde here.
Yeah, we talked about it because we found out because Asmongold did some investigative journalism into the crowd, and girls getting money for doing this, and like it was pretty funny. And Mel chimed in on it. And she was like, "I didn't even know this was a thing." It was pretty funny. So that was a few episodes back.
I had no idea either. That just
Oh
you just blew
man.
my mind.
yeah, I grew up on an RP server, so I know the ins and outs of
I just
RP PvP, of course.
I just remember someone getting banned one time way back in the original day. I don't know if it's vanilla or TBC, but there were two people doing that type of RP in the tunnel. I forget what it's called, from Ironforge to
Tram,
Stormwood, the tram.
the deep run tram.
Yeah, and there was a dwarf character who tried to partake in it, and he was like, doing his emotes, like, and they were so offended they had him banned, and he was like, I forget the whole story, but it was a really funny story that I remember from back in the day, and I was like, I didn't even know this stuff existed.
Such a ridiculous problem. If you guys, I know a good spot in every major city. If you guys want to see maybe a video or something, we can put on the YouTube of hidden spots where you can RP without these annoying freaks getting in the way. We can help you with that. In Stormwind, there's an amazing one in Stormwind. I've showed some people in our guild. There's like this, I think it might be a rogue quest where there's like a secret hidden alley that you
Oh, I
can
know what
go
you're talking
down.
about.
It's like near, I think it's either an Old Town or the Dwarven district. You can like
It's
come
an
in
old
from the
town.
canal side, and then in there's just a house with a bed up top, and
Exactly.
no other reason to be there.
It's actually so
Interesting.
right when you go, if you go into Old Town from the Cathedral of Light area, I can't remember what that district's
Yep.
called. But yeah, if you're
Yeah.
going through there, you just literally go into it, and then there's that alleyway, and there's like a shady dealer and stuff. So
Yep. See,
yeah,
you
I
know.
know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I know it, but I don't know about the RP stuff going on there. I've done rogue stuff, so but now I know. Thank you.
Oh boy. All right,
Gonna
well,
change up our schedule.
I just thought it might be like really interesting how many things they would take out of the game that in the current climate are pretty offensive to a lot of people that are getting offended about things they didn't used to.
Right.
That's the
They'd
best
have a
way I can
lot of
put it.
work on their hands. I think they're gonna have so much work on their hands if they kind of go that route of going in and, being that detailed to get rid of all of that stuff. But yeah, that's crazy. It's super crazy.
Yeah, I say no reason that they would do that. I think that it's going to mainly focus on targeted harassment stuff.
True.
The other big reason is there is a fine line, and you'd kind of brought it up last week, where there's like it's not just a simple yes or no, right? Where like the night elf dance, I think most people would find rather suggestive. At the same time, it's a real dance that a real woman did, and to
Exactly.
just not allow people to see it because you find it too like you can so easily cross into like a weird like where we've gone too far where like traditionalist Puritans in the 1650s trying to get rid of all the I just don't think they go down that route. I think they focus on the targeted harassment side of things. Um,
This
I
isn't
mean,
your
maybe in the
World of
future,
Warcraft. This is Sesame Street.
yeah. So I mean, they haven't nothing they've done has shown that they're going to do that. I think it's fine to get rid of NPCs that are named after bad people. I think their timing is questionable because they could have done it last year when he
Long time ago, right?
yeah, when they knew about it, but they wouldn't until it comes public. So like all that sort of handling of the PR side has been really bad from Blizzard. But any targeted harassment stuff, I think, is where they'll focus on changes like this slash
Mhm.
spit thing. Which Blizzard just get rid of emoting. Don't get rid of my ability to spit on horde rogues. That's all.
All right. Well, I think that kind of does it. Unless you guys have anything else.
Yeah, I can slot in my Yip tip since we don't have an add-on.
All right. Well, let's move into the Yip Tip of the Week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Yip Tip of the Week. This has to do with, we talked about a couple weeks ago, Gathermate. And as I was importing some Gathermate data, I thought, hey, you know what would be fun? Let me import the chest data, the treasure chest data that Gathermate has.
Oh.
The treasure chests are insane. I had
Blades of
no
Fountain.
idea how much money you can make from these treasure chests, but
Because there's a
it's like
whole
the
bunch that are, and they're like hard to see now too, especially the ones
you
in
would
like Shadow
never
Moon.
Yeah, so as I'm flying around doing the I'm sucking up gas clouds, along the same route, you can stop at these treasure chest spawns. No one ever takes them. Even if people are there questing, they'll just leave them there because they don't either know what they are or they don't care. But inside, there's often like multiple super healing and super mana potions. There's ores and herbs and honestly, I haven't done too many. I probably opened 10 or 12 of them. I probably average 4 to 5 gold from each of them, which is
Yeah.
like really solid. So especially if you're like a dwarf or if you're mining and herbing, import that gathermate data in and just stop at all the treasure chests on your way too. And I'm making a lot of money doing that. It's actually crazy. I don't know why I'd never heard of this before or thought about it, but I was like, treasure chests. In my head, I thought those were all just like rogue treasure chests.
I
When
was
I
just
see
gonna say that,
adamantite,
yeah.
yeah, if I see adamantite footlocker, I'm like, that's like some kind of rogue thing that
Yeah.
they use. But nope, lots of money inside of those.
So our Gathermate tip from a couple weeks ago actually helped you find another tip.
Yeah,
That is
they
nuts.
don't have gas cloud data in there though. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but they just don't seem to have. You have to like get the gas clouds yourself still, which is fine. I've done that now, but even on a slow mount, I was making good gold per hour gas clouding and going to the treasure chest. This is without mining and herbalism, so definitely a good way to make some money.
Wait,
They're called
your warrior still has the slow mount?
Of course, it has a slow mount. Why would I have the fast mount?
Oh my gosh.
they're called Fell
I
Iron
I beat you to raid every week.
No, you don't.
Yeah, there's fell iron ones and there's adamantite ones, and there might
Yes.
even be more than that.
I'm gonna find it here, but
There's
yeah,
also like
People
foot
really
lockers too. Like,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't think they're
well,
actually
yeah.
called footlockers. I think they're called like
They look like them though. They look just like
yeah,
the
they
rogue
look
lockers,
like
so
yeah, they're
people won't even worry about it. But
well,
then you can go and open them.
and
I know
they're
what they're.
the ones in Shadow Moon are like 1/4, if not 1/6, the size of a normal chest, and
Yep.
blend in with the environment really
Yeah,
well.
they look like random things on the ground. You would never stop to open these. I mean, I never did
I
most of
only
these.
did while questing, but I'm gonna turn this on too because that's huge.
Yeah,
So
and they're kind of few and far between. They're not like all over the place, and they're usually in a cluster. So it'll be like here's a little questing hub. There'll be like 4 or 5 spots to check, and you can do it in seconds. And they overlap with the ore, and they overlap with the herbs. So it's definitely worth doing. If you had treasure, I don't think there's any other way to have treasure finding on other than being a dwarf. Though I was doing a little research to see if there was something I could drink or put on to let me see them because it is kind of annoying. You have to like go look for them because they are pretty hidden. But once you know what the spawn looks like, it's really easy. But yeah, the Gathermate has all the data just to import on, so it's really nice.
That is awesome. And I will say, I have found that GatherMate does not have all the data for at least every mining node. I have found extra mining nodes in Blade's Edge. I know they're always updating their database, so you might want to re-update often because it's taking data from anybody who's using that add-on and putting it back in. So keep that up to date. I think there's an option to actually say continually merge or just merge one time. So definitely,
Yeah,
yeah,
just
definitely
don't
check that out.
overwrite. What you don't want to do is overwrite because you can. There are definitely herbs and ore that they don't have in there, and if you overwrite, it'll get rid of the ones that you find also. So you don't want to like overwrite an auto update and then lose some of the ones that you've seen. But other than that, yeah, you just want as much data as possible. And there's so many spawns. Really, all I use that data for like ores or herbs is just finding a good path. If you try to hit like all of them, you're kind of wasting your time or spinning your wheels. So finding a good path is, I think, the best reason to have that data in there.
Definitely. And going around the edges of the map, guys, it's what everybody does. Like that's why GatherMate's so much better, is it because it puts you in the middle of the map where less people are farming, because people without GatherMate are just gonna keep around the edges of the map, at least for mining. For herbing, it's way different, of course.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm one of
herbs
those
are just
people.
kind of everywhere.
I don't use Gathermate, so I'm one of those guys. I'm always on the outside edge, and guess what? I'm not getting nothing. But slave pens, you know what? If you can do the jumps in slave pens, there's always corium veins, rich adamant type veins. I load up on veins with my human warrior. I literally just I pull the mobs, shoot a bunch of mobs, piercing howl, and then I just do the you run into where menu is, and you can jump on the wall. And then they just run all the way around, and then you just run. It's a James Bond mission. Shout out to Pierce Brosnan. Hit your node and get out because the mobs are coming. But yeah, that's just what I do because I was
Boom,
running.
bada,
People were
boom,
saying
boom, 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 bada, boom, 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 bada, boom, boom.
they were. I was reading things saying like Nagran, go to Nagran for adamantite and all this. And I'm like, I'm not finding any of it. So I literally would just go in and get my 5 lockouts. And then, yeah, if the mobs are in a bad place, you just shoot them with your bow or whatever, and you just run them on the edge and then just go get the nodes. So yeah.
Yep.
Or if you have a mage, you can kill them.
All right. Well, we're gonna start ending it out, but I wanted to kind of put SteelWolf on the spot. Anybody who doesn't know or who picked up the pod later on and didn't check out the first few episodes with SteelWolf on, SteelWolf is the one who does our intro and outro music and does our add-on of the week music. So I was going to try and put him on the spot and see if he'd do just a little bit of beatboxing for us live.
I'll do a little beatbox. This is the tough part though. Is like on this mic. This is a super cardioid mic, so it's like a. How does it sound? Does it sound okay on your neck in your neck of the woods? Okay,
Sounds great. Exactly like slurping up clouds in the Grand. That's how
I love that, dude. This might like a... But yeah, so it's like if I turn my mic down and then I can just like it's like you gotta like it's hard because you gotta hold the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like But anyways, there's a little beatbox.
We'll clap you out. That was great.
We like it. We like it. We like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I haven't beatboxed in a while. I just got my vaccine, so I'm kind of feeling like a male undead mage. I'm not feeling too hot. Just kidding. But no, thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. I haven't been on the show in a long time, and I love you guys. This is a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
All right, well, Steel, why don't you tell them where they can find you?
You know what? I actually started Twitch streaming. I have Windows 8.1. I'm gonna upgrade. I've been streaming on Twitch. It is WoW DCV Game Warrior. Hold on, give me a second. Let me make sure that's correct. So it is. It's
Actually,
yeah.
I'll give you time. I'm gonna cut this because I forgot the ending of the show before I asked where we could find you. So I'm gonna go into that. So you take your time finding that, and I'll start in with.
Isn't Windows 8 the one they made so that it would like have the same interface across like Windows tablets and Windows?
Yeah.
Like they have all the big buttons.
Yeah,
My
eight turned good though, like with 8.1 or what. But here, we're off.
Oh yeah, maybe 8.1.
Sorry.
All right, guys. So we're gonna end out the show. I want to encourage everybody to follow us on Twitter that's at WC Reloaded. You can also follow the Mash Those Buttons Network at the Mash Network. If you want to send your WoW stories to us or get in on the new segment that's going to be coming up where you can talk to one of the hosts for 10 or 15 minutes about whatever you want, please send your emails to wcrpodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to join the Discord and interact with the host, you can do so by going to mash.gg/discord. How can you help the podcast? Well, you can help the podcast. The best way, I always say it, is to tell your friends about it and tell them that you love it and just have them give it a shot because they might not even know that they like podcasts, and you could help them find that out. And there's a ton of other podcasts too. So definitely tell your friends. Ratings and reviews help us a ton on Apple Podcasts and on warcraftradio.com/directory. Help us out a lot. Spotify supposedly is going to start putting in either comments or reviews. So if that pops in, like watch for that and give us something there. But as far as that, that's how you can help the podcast. We appreciate each and every one, and we read them on the show. So please keep those coming. All right. Ryan, where can we find you?
Hello, you can find me on Twitter at Cognitive Pit or on YouTube, youtube.com/Cognitive Pit, or Yip on White Mane, since Mel's not here to give a character shout out.
All right. And thank you so much for coming back on the show, SteelWolf, one of the OGs of the show, and the first person I started episode 0 with. So where can we find you?
Nice. Thank you so much for having me again. A huge shout out to K Joom. Love you, K Joom. If that's, I think is that Kim Jong?
That's Kim, yeah.
Kim, I love you so much. I see your comments. I love you so much. You can find me. It's DCV Game Warrior on Twitch. My Twitter account, I don't know what's going on with it. I think it's at SteelWolf Wow. I don't know much about Twitter. I don't do Twitter stuff, but find me on Twitch. We'll have a lot of fun.
All right.
That's where I'm at.
Awesome. Yeah, and we'll put that in the show notes if you want to check it out and check out SteelWolf. He has a lot of fun on the stream, and he has more energy than any 5 human beings put together. So definitely check it out. If you want to check me out, you can find me on Twitter at blazin_Bob. That's BLAZZIN_BOB. If you want to check me out on Twitch, I stream here and there. There's no promises, but it's twitch.tv/blazinbob. Whew. Kind of missed Mel, but it's been a fun, exciting episode. I think we're kind of short, like as far as episodes go. Yeah.
The utter chaos SteelWolf brings.
I know, and I know Mel's bummed that she wasn't able, but maybe we can go do some BGs right after this if you guys are down.
Tell Mel I love her so much.
I'm not, but maybe.
I gotta cut me a bite to eat. I'm Fury right now. I'm a Fury warrior, and I'm trying to get my mace skill up. But yeah, get me in there, baby. I'm ready to burst.
This is a bummer podcast because I didn't hear SteelWolf say Groge once.
You know what? I've been spending some serious time in the Groge. Holy smokes. I had to go back to the Groge and Hearthglen. Hold on. Hearthglen. Love that place to get my thorium vein to get my blacksmithing up. So yeah, I was gonna say I was spending some time.
Oh wow, you went out mining, like straight up.
I had to. I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, I did it. Huge shout out to DJ Smokey. If you've never heard him, go check out DJ Smokey, Land of the Funk, go to Tanaris, get those vibes in your life, because that's what I did. And I got my mining up. I meant my blacksmithing, excuse me. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week.
Bye.
All right. You can end your recording. Thank you
I've stopped
for everybody in
recording.
the chat that hung out, and yeah,
I don't know what episode this is.
56.
Wow, 56.
All right.
Thank you
Well,
guys so much for having me, man. That's a lot of fun. I'm
see you
saving it. Where
guys
should
on
I send
stream.
it over?
Hold on, I'm ending the stream real quick,
Yeah,
and
we
then
can't let anyone know our secrets. We're